Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Chhoda, and welcome to our channel. This is big news, everyone. President Biden is encouraging some states to further extend unemployment benefits because of high jobless rates. And in fact, President Biden wants these states to use federal money to extend benefits for unemployed workers after the September 6th expiration date. This is brand new information, folks. Welcome to our channel. My name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Please support the channel by clicking the like button, by clicking subscribe, and by enabling notifications. Here's a headline of an article on your screen from the New York Times. President Biden encourages some states to further extend unemployment benefits. So, folks, here's what's happening. Enhanced benefits for unemployed workers will end on the 6th of September. As per the American Rescue Plan that was enacted in March, all these benefits will end. Now, these benefits include a $300 weekly supplement for traditional benefits paid by states, additional weeks of benefits for the long-term unemployed, and a special pandemic program called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, also known as the PUA program, designed to help part-time workers, gig workers, and self-employed workers. Now, the bill also included $350 billion in relief funds for state, local, and tribal governments. Now, President Biden still believes that it is appropriate for the $300 benefit to expire, and he said, I quote, "It was always intended to be temporary." But President Biden and the White House have now said, in fact, they are reiterating that the stimulus bill allows states to use their relief funds to prolong other parts of the expanded benefits, like the additional weeks for the long-term unemployed, and they ask states to do so if the economy still needs help. So what is the bottom line, folks? The bottom line is that the White House is saying, hey, the $300 a week is going to end after the 6th of September. However, if you need to use federal money to provide additional weeks of unemployment benefits, the regular unemployment benefits, additional weeks funded by the state, then you can go ahead and do it. So the question is, which states still need help? Folks, California, New York, and Nevada have high unemployment rates well above the national average, and governments have now said that they could need additional help, but they're not sure what to do because a lot of businesses have been saying, hey, we're finding it hard to hire residents. Here's an important quote from Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, and Martin J. Walsh, the Labor Secretary. Even as the economy continues to recover and robust job growth improves, there are still some states where it may make sense for unemployed workers to continue receiving additional assistance for a longer period of time, allowing residents of those states more time to find a job in areas where unemployment remains high. The Delta variant may also pose short-term challenges to local economies and labor markets. So, what is the White House and what is the administration saying? Hey, use the federal aid that was sent to states, use the $350 billion that was sent, and use that to provide money for unemployment benefits. In fact, I have done another video on our channel where I talked about states not using billions of dollars in federal aid because they actually flush with money. The problem here, folks, is again, states that have high unemployment rates, states like California, Nevada, and New York, to name just a few because there are many other states, now have a lot of money from the federal government, and they should be able to use that in an effort to help those who need help the most. The fact is, folks, all these additional unemployment benefits have helped the economy recover from the recession, even as the labor market shows that millions of jobs are still short of pre-pandemic levels. Because after the pandemic, a lot of employers have actually cut back on hiring. A lot of employers have gone under, and they've actually reduced the size of their workforce. But the problem here, folks, is that business owners and Republicans have consistently blamed the $300 a week, in particular for the restaurant industry, for the travel, leisure, and hospitality industry, basically saying, hey, this is making it difficult for employers to hire back employees. Now, over 26 states, a majority of them states led by Republican governors, did decide to end the $300 a week prematurely before the September 6th deadline, and they said, hey, we don't need these benefits anymore. Now, in their letter to Congress, these Republican governors basically said, hey, we're finding it hard to hire individuals, so we're basically going to go ahead and end the unemployment benefits early. Now, administration officials have said that the Labor Department was announcing $47 million in new grants that were meant to help displaced workers connect with good jobs. They also reiterated the president's call for Congress to include a long-term fix for problems with the unemployment system because the Democrats want to use an automatic stabilizer as part of their economic agenda. The way the automatic stabilizer, the unemployment stabilizer would work is that if the unemployment levels go up in a state, then the unemployment benefits would automatically go up and stimulus checks could be sent out by that state to their local residents. Folks, the states do need to do a better job with the way they help those who need help the most. They need an improvement in their computer systems, and they need to do a better job handling the money that has been sent to them by the federal government. In the end, when you get your unemployment check, it actually comes from the state, and the federal government is trying to get the states to pass on more federal money. Think of money going from point A to point B to point C. Point A being the federal government through the extensive federal aid that essentially started with the CARES Act back in March 2020. And the most recent major initiative was the American Rescue Plan in March 2021. That's point A, the money coming from the federal government. Point B is the states themselves, because all this money goes to the states, and then from the states it goes to point C, and point C is you, which is a recipient of these unemployment benefits. In fact, I think of you, if you're receiving unemployment benefits, as a customer of the system. You should be getting money because in the end, money is paid into this system through employers and through employees. So the system should step up and help individuals in times of need. And even though the economy is recovering, there is still significant need for millions of our fellow Americans who are dependent on these unemployment benefits to put food on the table, to make rent, and to keep the lights on. In fact, our system should help those who need help the most, especially because of the surge of the Delta variant. And that is what the administration is saying. The administration is saying, hey, use a $350 billion of aid that was sent and pass it on to individuals who need help with unemployment benefits. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer and a subscriber. I want you to know that I greatly appreciate you. And we work hard on this channel every single day to bring you the latest news pertaining to the country, the economy, as well as our money. Please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. This right here is my Twitter feed. You'll be able to keep up with all the latest news on Twitter, including the latest news stories I follow. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this new initiative from the administration to get states to pay out extended unemployment benefits, not the $300 a week, but extended unemployment benefits to residents who need help the most. And these decisions have to be made specifically by the state. So your state would make the decision to use federal money because the government is saying, hey, go ahead and do it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.